I've been stranded in space for 3 weeks. Morale is very low. Prism, give me a status of ship systems.
Certainly, Dingo. Life support system in minimal gain mode. Propulsion, normal. Food supplies, low. Nintendo 64, optimal.
Wait, Prism, what was the last one?
Nintendo 64, ready for use.
Sweet deal, what do we have to play?
Preparing to load Star Fox 64.
I've always loved this game. From the very beginning, the soundtrack lets you know this game is not fucking around. Oh, just listen to that. This game hasn't even started yet, and it's already blasting the tunes at maximum hell yeah. Oh, and everyone knows this Easter egg. Yeah, that's right. Make 'em headbang to the music. You know you've done it. For being such a simplistic game, Star Fox 64 has a pretty good story. An evil giant monkey head named Andross is invading the Lylat System. General Pepper of the Cornerian Army has hired you and your team of mercenaries to fight the invasion.
I'll do my best. Andross won't have his way with me.
Okay. Adding to the story depth is that Fox McCloud's father, James, was captured by Andross and betrayed by former Star Fox member Pigma Dengar. The only member of the last Star Fox team to return was Peppy, who joins the fight again. For how short the game is, these story elements really make for a solid shooter. You get to meet other characters like Kat, who seems to have some sort of a love-hate relationship with Falco.
What are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet a girl?
You also meet an old friend of Fox's from when he was learning how to fly, named Bill. But this whole scene feels like they just ripped it out of Independence Day. See, we've got a large cylindrical alien ship that hovers over a building and opens up. You have a huge swarm of enemies in a giant dogfight. Something about these enemy ships seems pretty familiar too. Oh, and this music, it's just really patriotic sounding. And you run into a pilot of a fighter jet who happens to be named Bill. This game did come out a year after Independence Day, and at the time that movie was a huge success, so it isn't that surprising that they ripped it off.
Alright, you alien assholes, up yours!
In addition to the character depth, Star Fox 64 is a lot of fun to play. The controls are very intuitive. Unless you go into the POV mode. Yeah, don't go into the POV mode. Rapidly pressing A will fire volleys of shots. Holding down the A button will charge up and lock onto an enemy. This is also a good way to get a bomb to land on target too. There are other useful maneuvering tools as well, such as the brake and the boost. These can come in handy to get you through a tight spot or get you past some enemies. The somersault can be good for grabbing some items here and there, as well as getting some enemies past you. The U-turn comes in handy in all range mode. And of course, there's the one you already know is coming.
Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll!
Do a barrel roll! It's probably the most useful maneuver in the game. You're basically invincible for a few seconds, and you can do it as many times as you want. I don't know why it's become such a popular catchphrase over the last few years, probably partially because of Google Chrome's Easter egg, but I think it's also just fun to give your friends some advice that's completely useless outside of Star Fox. The first couple stages do a pretty good job of casually explaining the controls. Some games have a painful tutorial stage. Ugh. But they just include helpful hints in Star Fox throughout the game. I remember playing this game in the store when it was new, and I really liked the way that they implemented this. If you're having a hard time with the controls, there is a tutorial world you can choose from the main menu, but it's entirely optional. While you're playing Star Fox 64, you'll find there are several possible paths you can take to complete the game. To proceed to the path usually to the left, you have to complete some sort of additional but optional requirement. It can be something simple like flying under all of these rocks, or it could be something a little bit more complicated, like shooting out every single one of these searchlights, and you can't miss any of them. Or how about this one, shooting all of the train switches on the tank level? I can't tell you how many times I messed this up when I was younger. If you complete the requirements, you'll proceed to a different course, but you do have the option to choose the easier level if there's a specific area that you're trying to reach. You'll also have the option to retry the previous course that you just did, in case maybe you had a difficult time finishing some of those extra requirements. For being a shooter on rails, I still feel like I have plenty of control. All of these simple additions are executed really well, and I'd expect nothing less from Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of the Super Mario and Zelda games. You can even unlock an alternate ending depending on which course you take to get to the last world, Venom. Oh no, I have a blinky light in. That's far enough, Star Dingo.
I think I'll talk to you.
Great. Star Wolf. Cheesy effects can't stop me. No, I mean they can! Ah! Alright, let's get back to the game. Although this game is really good, it does have its drawbacks. The best advice I can give you is never, ever lose one of your wings. This cripples your ship in a few ways. Most painful is that you're stuck with the worst blaster in the game. If you were cruising fat at fully powered up guns, now you're back to square one. And finding the right power-ups after the first couple of levels can be challenging. To make things worse, your ship will start to drift away from center, making complicated maneuvers even harder to perform. This is one of the most challenging parts of Expert mode. Any collision will take off your wings. Peppy, you asshole! You flew right into me! Dick move. Your teammates are another common source of frustration. They will fly right into your line of fire, and then yell at you for shooting them.
Hey Einstein, I'm on your side. The enemy.
They don't even provide a lot of help most of the time. If you don't take care of the bosses, no one will. The only one who's slightly helpful is Slippy, because he'll at least tell you how much life they have left. But other than that, their only use is to draw aggro off of you when you're fighting Star Wolf. Even then, they're crying the whole time about needing you to personally come save them.
Take care of the guy behind me, Fox.
Fox, get this guy off me!
I'm a little busy myself. Why can't Falco help you?
Something's wrong with the G diffuser.
I told you to check the G diffuser, and you said you were fine, you lying asshole. Another thing is that when you die, you lose all of your bombs. I feel like a hoarder with how many of these I collect, but you can lose them all for making just a couple of small mistakes. I agree, it does make sense that you lose your bombs. You store them on the ship, and the ship blows up, so they'd be gone too. But it's just really demoralizing. You come back after dying, and you see that all of your hard work to save them up was for nothing. It's like if you were playing Zelda and you died, and then you came back and you see that you'd lost all of your rupees too. Despite these few frustrating points, Star Fox 64 is a great game, and marketed well. This game came with a Rumble Pak, which I know it doesn't sound that exciting to have your controller shake these days, but in 1997, that was a cutting-edge idea. Buying Star Fox was an easy way to get a Rumble Pak that you could use for all of your N64 games. Star Fox 64 also comes with a multiplayer mode. Although it does leave a lot to be desired, it's always fun to have something that you can play with your friends. Hey Prism, are you up for a match?
Affirmative, Dingo.
Okay, I'll be the R-Wing.
Player selected.
Oh, I get it. I'm gonna be the ship and you're gonna be the person. It's a little role reversal, eh?
Shut up and die, human.
Shit. Lesson learned, be the person in Star Fox. This is one of those games that I'll never forget. It succeeds in so many ways that other games don't. If you're an N64 owner, pick it up because it's a must-have in your library. On that note, I'm out of beer, so I gotta find my way back to civilization.